The Aldarian warships emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their obsidian hulls absorbing Earth's sunlight like cosmic predators. 30 vessels, each larger than humanity's tallest skyscrapers, positioned themselves strategically around the planet. Their arrival marked the end of humanity's solitary existence in the cosmos, though not in the way anyone had imagined. Director Sarah Chen stood at the window of the Global Defense Council's underground facility in Geneva, watching the live feed of the alien armada. 20 years of leading Earth's most classified research program had prepared her for this moment, though the weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her shoulders. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies," announced Colonel James Rodriguez, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic display. Text and audio, in perfect English. The message was brief but clear. To the governing bodies of Earth, the Aldarian Empire claims this sector for expansion. Your world has been assessed as a Category 3 developing civilization. Prepare to receive our representatives for resource acquisition negotiations. Sarah's lip curled slightly. Category 3. They think we're barely past the Industrial Revolution. She turned to face the room of military and civilian leaders. That's exactly what we want them to think. The council chamber erupted in hushed discussions. For 2 decades, the world's governments had maintained an elaborate deception. While publicly struggling with basic rocket technology, they had secretly achieved quantum engineering breakthroughs that would shock their would-be conquerors. Director Chen. The Chinese representative spoke up. "Is Project Nightfall ready?" Sarah nodded slowly. "The quantum shield network can be activated within hours. Our deep space sensors detected their approach 3 months ago, giving us time to complete the final calibrations." The Aldarian delegation arrived precisely 6 hours later, their shuttle cutting through Earth's atmosphere with casual disregard for air traffic control. They landed at the United Nations headquarters in New York, where Earth's apparent political leadership awaited them. High Commander Vextor strode into the General Assembly Hall, flanked by guards in crystalline armor. His species resembled tall, elegant humanoids with silvery skin and eyes that shifted color like oil on water. "We appreciate your prompt compliance," he announced, his translator converting his harmonic speech into English. "The Aldarian Empire brings order to chaos, progress to primitive worlds." Sarah watched the broadcast from Geneva, studying every detail of their technology. Their arrogance was evident in how openly they displayed their advanced systems. They clearly saw no threat from Earth. "Our terms are generous," Vextor continued. "The Empire will claim 70% of your world's mineral resources and 50% of your biological diversity for research. In exchange, you receive our protection and limited access to our lesser technologies." The UN Secretary-General rose, playing his role perfectly. "These terms seem harsh. Surely there's room for negotiation." Vextor's eyes shifted to deep crimson. "Negotiation implies equality, which does not exist between us. We've studied your civilization. Your most advanced weapons are primitive projectiles and crude atomic devices. Your space travel barely reaches your own moon." He gestured, and a hologram appeared, showing Earth's military bases. "You have no leverage." In Geneva, Sarah received a message on her quantum-encrypted tablet. Deep space sensors detecting 30 more Aldarian ships entering the system, Colonel Rodriguez reported. "They're not even trying to hide their reinforcements." "Good," Sarah replied. "The more resources they commit, the better." The UN delegation proceeded exactly as planned, appearing to reluctantly agree to preliminary terms while requesting time to coordinate with world governments. The Aldarians, convinced of their absolute superiority, granted Earth 48 hours to formalize their surrender. As Vextor's shuttle departed the UN, Sarah activated her global command channel. "Initialize Project Nightfall. All stations prepare for Phase 1. Deep beneath the oceans, hidden in mountain ranges, and concealed in desert wastelands, humanity's real technological achievements began powering up. Quantum cores, reverse engineered from fragments of ancient alien technology found on Mars, hummed to life. Networks of satellites that appeared to be simple communication relays revealed their true nature as quantum shield generators. Status report. Sarah commanded. Quantum shield grid at 60% and rising, reported the European station. Asian Defense Network online, came the response from Beijing. America's standing by, echoed from the Rocky Mountain facility. The Aldarians had made a critical mistake. They had assumed Earth's public face represented its true capabilities. They hadn't detected the quantum technology because they weren't looking for it. Like so many advanced civilizations, their certainty in their own superiority had bred dangerous blindness. Director, Colonel Rodriguez called out, "We're detecting energy signatures from the Aldarian fleet. They're positioning for resource extraction. Their mining ships are already entering the atmosphere." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Right on schedule. How many civilian ships have they committed? Nearly 200 support vessels now in orbit. They're not even bothering with military escorts for most of them. Perfect. Sarah opened a channel to her quantum research team. "Dr. Patel, are the calculations complete?" "Yes, Director," the physicist replied. "Their shield technology is based on conventional energy matrices. They have no defense against quantum-phased attacks. When their shields fail, their hulls will be exposed to our weaponry." Sarah studied the tactical display, watching the Aldarian ships spread out across Earth's orbit, their arrogance making them vulnerable. Humanity had hidden for so long, played weak for so long, preparing for this moment. "All stations, this is Director Chen. Commence Operation Nightfall on my mark." She took a deep breath, 20 years of preparation culminating in this moment. "Remember, we only get one chance to show them exactly how wrong they are about humanity." The Aldarian ships continued their deployment, unaware that Earth's apparent submission was about to become the greatest tactical mistake in their empire's history. Mark. The quantum shield grid activated with a brilliance that outshone the stars. To the Aldarian sensors, it appeared as if Earth had suddenly vanished, replaced by a void in space that their instruments couldn't penetrate. Inside the shield, humanity's hidden fleet emerged from its scattered bunkers across the globe. Dr. Aisha Patel stood in the control center of the Quantum Propulsion Laboratory beneath the Indian Ocean, watching as the first wave of Earth's ships rose from their underwater berths. The vessels looked nothing like conventional spacecraft. Their quantum-engineered hulls rippled with patterns that seemed to defy physical space. "Phoenix Squadron launching now," announced Wing Commander Maya Torres through the quantum comm. On screens across the facility, sleek fighters emerged from hidden hangars in the Andes Mountains, their quantum drives allowing them to accelerate at speeds that would have crushed any conventional craft. The Aldarian response was immediate and predictable. High Commander Vexter's voice boomed across all frequencies, his translator barely containing his rage. "This deception will not be tolerated. Your primitive tricks cannot hope to." The transmission cut off as Earth's quantum jamming systems activated, isolating each Aldarian vessel in a bubble of communications darkness. Their mighty fleet, which had operated as a single coordinated unit, was suddenly fragmented into individual ships, each unable to support the others. Status report. Director Chen's voice came through the quantum network, clear despite the jamming that was crippling Aldarian communications. "Quantum cores operating at 98% efficiency," Dr. Petal responded, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. The reverse engineering was perfect. Their technology can't even detect our quantum signatures. On the tactical displays, the Aldarian fleet was in chaos. Their ships fired conventional energy weapons at the quantum shield, but the attacks passed through harmlessly, their physics unable to interact with Earth's quantum-phase defenses. The mining vessels, caught in the middle of their resource extraction, were particularly vulnerable. Colonel Rodriguez's voice crackled through the comm. "First wave of Phoenix fighters engaging now. Remember the targeting priorities. Disable their engines first, weapons second. We want prisoners, not martyrs." The battle unfolded like a precisely choreographed dance. Earth's quantum-powered fighters phased through the Alderian shields as if they weren't there, their weapons striking with surgical precision. Massive mining ships found themselves dead in space, their engines destroyed by weapons they couldn't detect until it was too late. Dr. Patil monitored the quantum core readings carefully, energy consumption within expected parameters. The Alderian shields are actually helping us. They're so focused on blocking conventional attacks that they're not even attempting to adapt to quantum frequencies. In orbit, the Phoenix Squadron demonstrated the full capabilities of Earth's hidden technology. Fighters seemed to appear inside the Alderian vessel's shield perimeters, striking critical systems before disappearing again. The quantum drives allowed them to move in ways that defied the enemy's understanding of physics. "This is Phoenix Lead," Commander Torres reported. First wave of mining vessels neutralized, moving to engage their military escorts. Her squadron streaked across space, their quantum signatures making them invisible to Alderian targeting systems. The Alderian warships attempted to coordinate their defense, but Earth's jamming prevented any organized response. Each ship fought alone, their advanced technology suddenly primitive compared to humanity's quantum engineering. "Director," Dr. Patel called out, "we're detecting energy spikes from the Alderian command ship. They appear to be charging their main weapon array." Sarah Chen's response was calm, exactly as expected. "Initiate Phase 2. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, a massive quantum accelerator powered up." Dr. Patel had helped design this weapon, combining humanity's understanding of quantum mechanics with the fragments of ancient technology found on Mars. The result was something the Alderians had never encountered, a weapon that could selectively phase matter into different quantum states. "Quantum accelerator at full power," Dr. Patil announced. "Target locked on Alderian command ship." The weapon fired, its beam invisible to conventional sensors. The effect, however, was spectacular. The command ship's outer hull shifted phase, becoming temporarily out of sync with the rest of the vessel. When the phase shift reversed, the hull had interpenetrated with the ship's internal structures, rendering both useless. High Commander Vexter's mighty flagship hung in space, its systems fused into quantum chaos. The message was clear. Earth could have destroyed the vessel completely, but had chosen a precision strike instead. "All Alderian vessels, this is Director Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Council." Sarah's voice transmitted on all frequencies. "Your ships are disabled. Your communications are blocked. Your weapons are useless against our quantum technology. I suggest you reconsider your position on negotiations between equals." The response came minutes later, not from Vextor, but from multiple Alderian captains simultaneously. Their ships were surrendering, their crews finally realizing that they had catastrophically underestimated Earth's capabilities. Dr. Patil allowed herself a small smile as she watched the tactical display. 20 years of secret development, of hiding humanity's true progress, had paid off. The quantum cores hummed steadily, their power reshaping humanity's place in the galaxy. "Director," she reported, "quantum grid holding stable. We can maintain this shield indefinitely." She paused, checking another reading. "We're also detecting multiple quantum signatures at the edge of the solar system, likely reinforcements the Alderians called for." "Good," Sarah replied. "Let them come. It's time to show the galaxy exactly what humanity has been hiding all these years." The battle for Earth was ending, but the revolution in galactic politics was just beginning. Humanity had kept its quantum technology secret not out of fear, but strategy. Now, that strategy was about to reshape the balance of power across known space. At the edge of the solar system, the Alderian reinforcement fleet dropped out of hyperspace, 500 ships strong, a force that could subjugate an entire sector. They emerged expecting to find Earth under Imperial control. Instead, they found only silence and the wreckage of their first invasion force. Admiral Kenna Walsh stood on the bridge of the EDS Prometheus, Earth's first quantum dreadnought. The massive ship had remained hidden in the asteroid belt, its quantum signature masked until this precise moment. Now, as she watched the Aldarian Armada approach, she felt a fierce pride in humanity's achievement. All ships, battle formations, she ordered through the quantum network. From their hiding places throughout the solar system, Earth's true fleet emerged. 300 vessels, each powered by quantum cores, each capable of feats the Aldarians considered impossible. The enemy fleet's commander broadcast on all frequencies. "This is Grand Marshal Zextal of the Aldarian Empire. Your resistance is noted but futile. Surrender now, and your planet's suffering will be minimized." Admiral Walsh smiled. "Tactical, are they scanning us?" "Yes, Admiral," Lieutenant Sarah Wong reported. "Their sensors are active, but they're still using conventional detection methods. They can't see our quantum signatures." "Then let's show them what they're actually facing. Activate the Prometheus protocol." The quantum dreadnought's true form manifested, a vessel that existed partially in multiple quantum states, its hull rippling with patterns that hurt the eyes to look at. The ship was nearly twice the size of the largest Aldarian vessel, yet until now had been completely invisible to their sensors. "Grand Marshal," Walsh transmitted, "this is Admiral Kenna Walsh of the Earth Defense Fleet. I suggest you look closer at what you're facing. Your sensors should be picking up some interesting readings about now." The Aldarian fleet's formation shifted as they finally detected the quantum energy signatures. Their scanners, designed for conventional physics, were overwhelmed by readings they couldn't interpret. Dr. Patel's voice came through on a secure channel from Earth. "Admiral, the quantum core network is fully synchronized. You have full power available." "Thank you, Doctor." Walsh turned to her tactical officer, Lieutenant Wong. "Deploy the quantum mines." Across the solar system, thousands of quantum devices activated. They had been placed over the past decade, disguised as simple debris or minor astronomical bodies. Each one generated a localized field that altered the fundamental physics within its range. The Aldarian fleet found itself trapped in bubbles of space where their technology simply stopped working. Ships designed to manipulate conventional physics were useless in zones where quantum effects dominated. "Multiple Aldarian vessels reporting drive failures," Wong announced. "Their shields are fluctuating. They can't maintain stable energy fields within the quantum interference zones." Walsh opened a channel to all Earth forces. "All ships, execute Operation Starfall. Remember your training. Disable, don't destroy. We want to demonstrate our power, not our cruelty." Earth's fleet moved with precision that would have been impossible without quantum technology. Ships phased through solid matter, appeared simultaneously in multiple locations, and struck with weapons that ignored conventional defenses. The Aldarian response was chaos. Their rigid military doctrine, based on overwhelming force and superior technology, had no answer for an enemy that seemed to ignore the basic laws of physics. Ships fired at targets that weren't there, while Earth's vessels struck from impossible angles. "Grand Marshal," Walsh transmitted, "I'll make this simple. Your empire's understanding of physics is incomplete. You've built your civilization on manipulating traditional spacetime, but we've moved beyond that. Look at your fleet's status. Really look." On the tactical display, more than half of the Aldarian ships were already disabled, their engines dead, their weapons useless. The rest were scattered, unable to maintain formation in the quantum interference fields. "This is impossible," Zextal responded, his translator unable to hide his shock. "No civilization at your development level could have this technology. We would have detected it. Would you?" Walsh allowed herself a small laugh. "Your arrogance blinded you. You saw what you expected to see, a primitive world struggling with basic spaceflight. You never looked deeper because you never considered you might be wrong." The Prometheus moved through space in ways that defied conventional physics, its quantum drive allowing it to exist partially in multiple locations. To the Aldarian sensors, it appeared to be everywhere and nowhere, impossible to target or evade. Your empire isn't the first advanced civilization to visit Earth, Walsh continued. The others just had the wisdom to approach us as equals. The artifacts we found on Mars, they weren't weapons or defense systems. They were gifts left by species who recognized our potential. More Aldarian ships fell silent, their systems overwhelmed by quantum interference. The mighty Armada, pride of the Empire, was being systematically neutralized without a single human vessel firing a fatal shot. Final warning, Grand Marshal. Surrender your fleet, or we'll be forced to demonstrate the full capabilities of our quantum technology. Trust me, you don't want to see what happens when we fully destabilize quantum fields around your ships. The response came quickly this time. Across the battlefield, Aldarian vessels began powering down their weapons. Even their mighty empire couldn't fight an enemy that controlled the fundamental forces of reality itself. Admiral, Wong reported, we're detecting quantum fluctuations from the Aldarian homeworld direction. Massive energy signatures. Looks like they're mobilizing their entire fleet. Walsh nodded. Good. Let them come. Send word to Earth. Tell Director Chen to begin the final phase of the operation. It's time to show the galaxy that the age of empires is over. As the quantum dreadnought moved to secure the surrendered Aldarian fleet, Walsh reflected on how far humanity had come. They had hidden their true capabilities not out of fear, but because they knew that sometimes the greatest victory comes not from winning a war, but from preventing it entirely. The real battle was just beginning. Not for survival, but for humanity's place in a galaxy that was about to learn just how badly it had underestimated Earth. The Aldarian Imperial Palace on Aldrix Prime trembled as emergency alarms echoed through its crystalline halls. Reports flooded in from across the Empire. Earth's quantum fleet wasn't just defending their solar system. They were striking across galactic space, appearing and disappearing at will, systematically dismantling the Empire's power structure. Supreme Overlord Exarchath watched the tactical displays with growing horror. Centuries of Aldarian dominance were unraveling in days. How? He demanded of his assembled advisors. How did we miss this level of technology? High Scholar Venera stepped forward, her silver skin pale with anxiety. My lord, we've analyzed the quantum signatures. The humans, they didn't develop this technology entirely on their own. They had help from the predecessors. The chamber fell silent. The predecessors, a mysterious civilization that had vanished months ago, leaving only scattered artifacts across the galaxy. The Aldarians had spent centuries trying to decipher their technology with minimal success. Impossible, Karkath snarled. We've studied predecessor artifacts for generations. Their technology was beyond comprehension. The humans, Venera continued, they thought differently. Where we tried to reverse engineer the artifacts, they studied the underlying principles. They didn't copy the predecessor's technology. They understood it, then built their own. On Earth, Director Sarah Chen received the latest intelligence reports with grim satisfaction. The quantum network was performing beyond expectations, allowing Earth's fleet to strike anywhere in Aldarian space instantly. Status update, she commanded. Colonel Rodriguez gestured at the holographic display. Phase 3 proceeding as planned. Admiral Walsh's forces have neutralized 60% of the Empire's military installations. Dr. Patel's quantum interference fields have shut down their major shipyards. Most importantly, their subject worlds are rising up. Our demonstration of resistance has inspired others. Sarah nodded. The plan had always been bigger than just defending Earth. And the Aldarian response. They're consolidating their forces around their homeworld. Nearly 10,000 ships, their entire remaining fleet. They're preparing for a final stand. In the depths of space, Admiral Walsh stood on the Prometheus's bridge, watching as Earth's quantum fleet gathered. The ships moved in formations that defied conventional physics, their quantum drives allowing them to exist partially in multiple dimensions. All ships report ready, Lieutenant Wong announced. The quantum core network is synchronized at 100% efficiency. Dr. Patel's calculations confirm we can collapse their entire defense grid with a synchronized quantum pulse. Walsh studied the tactical display. The Aldarian homeworld bristled with defenses, their remaining ships arranged in a sphere around the planet. Under normal circumstances, it would be an impregnable fortress. "Open a channel to their command," she ordered. "All frequencies." Supreme Overlord Exarchath's hologram appeared on the bridge. Despite his attempt at imperial dignity, fear showed in his color-shifting eyes. "Your empire is finished," Walsh stated simply. "Your subject worlds are in revolt. Your fleet is in ruins. Surrender now, and we can begin discussions about your people's place in the new galactic order." "Never," Exarchath snarled. "We are the Aldarian Empire. We have ruled the stars for 1,000 years. We will not bow to primitives who got lucky with stolen technology." Walsh sighed. "You still don't understand. We're not here to destroy you or rule you. We're here to end the age of empires. Your choice is simple: evolution or extinction." She gestured, and Earth's fleet demonstrated its power. Ships phased through Aldarian defenses as if they weren't there. Quantum weapons disabled shield generators and weapon platforms with surgical precision. The entire defensive screen went dark in seconds. "Impossible," Exarchath whispered. "No," Walsh corrected. "Inevitable. You built your empire on the assumption that technological superiority gives you the right to rule. We advanced our technology precisely because we rejected that assumption." The quantum fleet surrounded Aldrich Prime, their weapons powered but not firing. The message was clear: Earth could end the Aldarian civilization with a single command, but was choosing not to. "Your empire enslaved worlds, stripped them of resources, crushed their cultures," Walsh continued. "We're offering something different: partnership, cooperation, a chance to be part of a galactic community of equals." On Earth, Sarah Chen watched the confrontation through quantum feeds. Everything they had worked for, all the years of secrecy and preparation, had led to this moment. "Director," Dr. Patel's voice came through. "We're detecting quantum signatures from beyond the galactic rim. The predecessors. They're returning." Sarah smiled. The final piece of the plan was falling into place. Humanity hadn't just mastered quantum technology. They had learned enough to signal the mysterious civilization that had guided their development from the shadows. "Send word to Admiral Walsh," she ordered. "Tell her to prepare for first contact. The real first contact. The galaxy is about to change forever." Above Aldrich Prime, the quantum fleet held position, a demonstration of power and restraint. The age of empires was ending, and humanity would help guide the galaxy into whatever came next. The predecessors arrived not with warships or displays of power, but with structures of pure light that defied comprehension. Their quantum signatures dwarfed even Earth's advanced technology, suggesting civilizational development spanning millions of years. Director Sarah Chen stood in the newly constructed Galactic Assembly on Earth, watching as representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered. The fall of the Aldarian Empire had reshaped the political landscape of known space. Earth, once dismissed as a primitive backwater, now stood at the center of a new interstellar order. "The quantum network is stable," Dr. Patel reported, her hands moving across holographic controls. "We're receiving delegations from across the galaxy, including 17 previously unknown civilizations that were hiding from the Empire." The predecessor delegate, a being of crystalline energy that shifted through multiple quantum states, approached the central platform. Its communication came not in words, but in pure thought, translated through the quantum network. "Humanity has exceeded our expectations," it expressed. "We seeded the galaxy with our artifacts, waiting for a species that would understand rather than simply copy. A civilization that would rise not to conquer, but to unite." Admiral Walsh, standing beside Sarah, watched as former Aldarian worlds joined the gathering. The Empire's collapse had revealed dozens of advanced cultures that had hidden their true capabilities, just as Earth had. We were not alone in our deception. The Eldarian representative, former High Scholar Venera, addressed the assembly. My people's greatest failure was not in being conquered, but in believing that military power was the only measure of civilization. The predecessor's form shimmed with what seemed like approval. The age of quantum civilization begins, not through conquest or dominion, but through understanding and cooperation. This was always our hope, not to rule, but to guide until others were ready to join us. Sarah stepped forward to address the gathering. Earth's journey from isolation to this moment has taught us a crucial lesson. True power lies not in the ability to destroy or dominate, but in the wisdom to know when not to use that power. The quantum network hummed with energy as more civilizations connected, sharing knowledge and culture across vast distances. The predecessors had created a galaxy-spanning quantum web eons ago, waiting for species advanced enough to access it. The network is evolving, Dr. Patil announced, excitement clear in her voice. The predecessors aren't just sharing technology. They're sharing their history, their philosophy, their understanding of reality itself. Above Earth, the combined fleet of human and alien ships created a display visible from the surface, a symphony of quantum effects that painted the sky with impossible colors. It was both celebration and demonstration, showing how far humanity had come from its first tentative steps into space. They're offering us a choice, Sarah explained to the assembly. Not just Earth, but all civilizations. We can join them in their exploration of higher dimensions, become part of something greater than ourselves. The predecessor delegates' form expanded, encompassing the entire chamber in its quantum field. Your species has proven itself not through victory in battle, but through the wisdom to use power responsibly. The galaxy enters a new era, one of exploration, discovery, and cooperation. Admiral Walsh smiled as she watched former enemies become allies, sharing technology and culture freely. We spent so long preparing for war, she mused, only to find our greatest achievement would be preventing future wars. The quantum network pulsed with new connections as more civilizations emerged from hiding, each bringing their own discoveries and innovations. Earth had become not a conqueror, but a nexus, a meeting point for species ready to embrace a new way of existence. The Eldarians thought they were the pinnacle of evolution, Venera observed, but they were merely one step on a much longer journey. Humanity showed us that true advancement comes not from dominating others, but from lifting them up. As the assembly continued, the predecessors shared their final revelation. The quantum network extended beyond their galaxy, reaching into the vast unknown. They had prepared humanity and other species not just to join their civilization, but to help explore the infinite mysteries of the cosmos. Sarah looked out at the gathered representatives of countless worlds, each with their own stories of resistance and survival. We thought we were alone in hiding our capabilities, she said. Instead, we were all waiting for the right moment to show our true potential. The quantum network blazed with possibility, connecting minds and civilizations across space and time. Earth had not just survived its trial by fire. It had helped forge a new path for all sentient life. The age of empires is over, the predecessor communicated. The age of discovery begins, and humanity, through wisdom rather than warfare, has earned its place among the stars. As night fell over Earth, the sky shimmered with quantum effects, a reminder that humanity's greatest achievement had not been in conquering its enemies, but in transforming them into friends. The future stretched out before them, infinite in its possibilities, waiting to be explored together.